Good morning, everybody. You want to know a really good way to feel continually frustrated, disappointed, have unmet needs and expectations, high stress levels, powerlessness. I could go on if you're interested. That is to control and change other people. Some people don't realize yet that the only one they can control is themselves. This can be a really beneficial lesson to learn in relationship. If there's something missing or lacking in your relationship that you have identified, try adding it in yourself. Intimacy, adventure, time together, quality time, more fun, more spontaneity. Try doing your part, pulling your weight, introducing it into the relationship from your side, and it will likely be reciprocated in kind. But even then, you can't control whether they will or they won't. Some people take this to such an extreme that they go ahead and get married to the wrong person, knowing that they're the wrong person, thinking that if they marry the person, this person will change, or that they can change the person. And if they may have been trying to, the whole relationship, change this person that wasn't a good fit from the beginning, not necessarily not a good person, but just not a good fit from the very beginning. And yet they go on to marry the person. Oops. I guess oops is what they say when they go on to marry the person, thinking that marriage is going to change the person. Marriage is when the work starts. Talk about complicated relationships and how all relationships have problems. All relationships are complicated. When you enter into marriage, you don't have that backdoor unconscious knowledge that you can just walk away. Things legally become a lot more difficult to just walk away. Legally, socially, financially intertwined. Commitment. True commitment, navigating that world, actually makes things more stressful. If you find yourself in a relationship, any type of relationship, your neighbors, they paint their fence a color you don't like. They mow too late at night. Your boss you disagree with, don't get along with. There's typically a lot of contentious relationships with bosses. In-laws, family you're born to, friends, spouses and partners. And you realize through having some insight, self-introspection, and standing back and observing the situation, that you are in any way your children trying to control, manipulate, influence another person to do differently, like a puppet on your strings. Even if you're doing it unconsciously, you're not meaning to, you're being the codependent to an addict or someone with an eating disorder or an addiction of any kind. The only person you can control is you. sooner you realize that, the sooner you can take a major load off, for one. Stop guilting, shaming, and taking responsibility for the actions, opinions, and wrongdoings of others. Stop reflecting back, like if your partner breaks it off with you and does not want you, or anyone else walks away from your life, there's something inherently wrong with you because they have grown or gone in a different direction. That says nothing about you. That's their particular wants, needs, and desires have changed. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You're not responsible for other people's feelings either. Learn the body language, learn the signals, ask questions, inquire, truly listen, learn something true and genuine about those around you. Learn who they are and what they're about, not what you think they're about, what you project and assume they're about. Truly begin to learn what the people around you are about. And then, when you've determined that they're not toxic, they're healthy, they're fine relationships, you kind of know who they actually are, not who you think they are, then you accept them as they are. And if you can't accept them as they are, you shouldn't have them in your life, because you wouldn't want anyone to know you truly and disapprove, twist your arm, and try to change you from who you are. To make the necessary modifications to make those relationships run smoother and more effectively for the things that you need and want. Learn to communicate effectively, and you will communicate more effectively when you truly know and accept a person for who and what they are, not what you think they are. The only person you can control is you. Don't control other people. They're out of your hands. Like a puppeteer. Cut the strings. Set them free. Learn who they really are. They're not puppets, they're people just like you. Whole, sentient, complicated, messed up, but wonderful people just like you. Some of them will like you, some of them won't. You don't like everybody either. And different people will need different things. Take the pressure off. The only person you have control over is yourself. And if it's truly not working out, you also have the power to walk away. But if you want a relationship to change, don't focus on the other, because you can't change them. You can't change other people. Focus on you and change what you need to change and see what happens. The only person you can change is yourself. You can't change other people. They're out of your hands. Good morning, goodbye. This was a better video, but speaking of people being out of my hands, my other half the time my better half, walked in while I was filming and I hit the off button instead of the pause button, so I forgot where